jutted from the floor. Girders and trusses overhead supported a track that ran the length of the space. Corroded hooks hung on chains from the track. The footprints cut diagonally left away from the doorway. He followed, aware of those bolts in the floor and not wanting to trip. Schneider meant to look into the girders again, but was distracted by something scampering ahead of him. He crouched, aiming the gun and light at the noise. A line of rats scurried toward a gaping hole in the floor on the far side of the room. The boot prints went straight to the hole and disappeared. He heard rats squealing and hissing as he got closer. To the left of the hole stood a metal tube of a slightly smaller diameter than the hole. Atop it lay a sewer grate. To the right of the hole was a small gas blower, the kind used to get clippings off walkways. Schneider stepped to the hole and shined the light into a shaft of corrugated steel. 10 feet down, the shaft ended in space. 4 feet below that lay a gravel floor. A female corpse was sprawled on the gravel. Rats were swarming her. Schneider knew her nonetheless. He'd been searching for her all over Berlin and Germany, hoping against hope that she was alive. But he was far, far too late. The desire for vengeance that had been a low flame inside Schneider fueled and exploded through him now. He wanted to shoot at anything that moved. He wanted to scream into the hole and call out her killer to receive his just due. But then Schneider's colder, rational side took over. This was bigger than him now. Bigger than all of us. It wasn't about revenge anymore. It was about bringing someone heinous into the harsh light, exposing him for what he was and what he had been. Go outside, he thought. Call the Crippo. Get them involved, now. Schneider turned and, sweeping the room behind him with the light, started back toward the hallway. He had taken 6 or 7 steps when he heard what sounded like a very large bird fluttering. He tried to react, tried to get his gun moving up toward the sound, but the dark figure was already dropping from his hiding spot in the deep shadows above the rusted overhead track. Boots struck Schneider's collarbones. He collapsed backward and landed on one of those bolts sticking up from the floor. The bolt impaled him, broke his spine, and paralyzed him. The Glock clattered away. There was so much fiery pain Schneider could not speak, let alone scream. The silhouette of a man appeared above him. The man aimed his flashlight at his own upper body, revealing a black mask that covered his nose, cheeks, and forehead. The masked man began to speak, and Schneider knew him instantly, as if 3 decades had passed in a day. "You thought you were prepared for this, Chris, The masked man asked, amused. He made a clicking noise in his throat. "You were never prepared for this, no matter what you may have told yourself all those years ago." A knife appeared in the masked man's other hand. He squatted by Schneider and touched the blade to his throat. "My friends will come quicker if I bleed you," he said. "A few hours in their care, and your mask will be gone, Chris. No one would ever recognize you then, not even your own dear, sweet mother.
2. At 3:45 the following Sunday morning, Mattie Engel wove through the crowd jammed into Tresor, a legendary underground nightclub set inside an old power plant in the hip Kreuzberg district of Berlin. In her 30s, strong and attractive, Mattie reached a series of industrial passageways that linked the club's 2 huge dance floors. She yawned and ran her fingers through her short, spiked blonde hair as electronic music throbbed and echoed all around her. Mattie's roving sapphire eyes took in the graffiti-lined walls, the smoky air, and all the hardcore partiers trying to make their Saturday night last until mid-morning at least. A stocky Eurasian man appeared in the hallway ahead of Mattie. He had a tattoo of a spiderweb beneath his left eye. "The Countess still here, Axel?" Mattie asked, loud enough to be heard. The man with the spiderweb tattoo jerked his head back in the direction he'd come from. "She's with the Argentine. They're on something stronger than booze, weed, or blow. I'm guessing ecstasy."